Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to begin by saluting the more than 5,000 firefighters from 40 cooperating agencies that assembled under the coordination of CAL FIRE to battle the Detwiler Fire that threatened Yosemite Valley and its gateway communities. I spent Saturday at the command centers in Mariposa and Merced counties, and what I saw is what I have seen time and again at so many fires we're having these days in the Sierra: cool, calm professionalism, selflessness, and devotion to duty. CAL FIRE is an agency that works. I want particularly to salute and thank Nancy Korporich, CAL FIRE's unit fire chief for Madera, Merced, and Mariposa. She and her operation literally saved several towns, including Mariposa and Colderville, from annihilation last week. Sheriff Doug Benoist of Mariposa County is rightly being hailed for his courage and leadership in directing the orderly evacuation of the town of Mariposa as the fire bore down upon it. You can literally see how the fire burned right up to the town's edge. I can't tell you how many homes I saw where firefighters stopped it literally within a few feet of their front doors. CAL FIRE Battalion Chief Jeremy Ron told me that the difference between saving and losing so many homes was defensible space. CAL FIRE has produced a superb phone app to assist homeowners in preparing their homes so that if, God forbid, the need arises, firefighters will be able to defend them. It also provides fire alerts, and anyone in the mountain community should have it. It's free for downloading at your phone's app store. I cannot say enough about the firefighters who have been working in triple-digit heat in 24-hour shifts to battle the flames, or the air crews that dropped a staggering 500,000 gallons of fire retardant in a single day at the height of the conflagration. Their effectiveness can be seen by red borders of fire retardant that separate the blackened ground of the fire on one side from the landscape they saved on the other. They not only saved these communities and hundreds of homes, they also stopped the fire within just a few miles of the Stanislaus National Forest, a forest that is dying because of federal environmental restrictions on forest management. The firefighters warned that if the fire had reached these vast stands of dead trees, the fire would have exploded with atomic force. And that's the fine point of the matter. I spoke with Mariposa County Supervisor Marshall Long and many of the other firefighters at the Mariposa Command Center, and the one thing that they stressed time and again is that they need relief from the regulations that are making it almost impossible to create fire breaks, thin the forests, or remove the excess fuels. These policies, imposed 45 years ago through legislation like the National Environmental Policy Act and the Endangered Species Act, promised to improve the forest environment. After 45 years of experience with these laws, I think we're entitled to ask, well, so how's the forest environment doing? And the answer is damning. These laws have made it virtually impossible to keep our forests properly managed, and the result has been severe tree overcrowding. The Sierra Nevada normally support between 20 and 100 trees per acre, depending upon the topography. The average tree density is now 266 trees per acre. This extreme overcrowding has stressed the trees to the point they can no longer resist drought and beetle infestation and disease. This has caused a massive tree die-off, and we have entire national forests now just waiting to explode with over 100 million dead trees. The heroic firefighters of the Detwiler Fire have kept it out of these hazard zones, but the hazard zones are still there. And consider this, we're only at the very beginning of the fire season that combines fresh brush from last year's rains with millions of dead trees that were too stressed from overcrowding to survive the drought. And the firefighters I spoke with on Saturday bitterly complained that they can't even cut fire breaks to isolate these zones because of the same so-called environmental laws. The House has pending before it the Resilient Federal Forest Act of 2017 that would allow us to restore good forest management, but we may already have run afoul of what Churchill called history's terrible, chilling words, too late. Mr. Speaker, I call for expeditious consideration of the Resilient Federal Forest Act and other legislation aimed at restoring management to our forests in the hope that firefighters can hold these fires at bay until we restore good management to our public lands. I yield back.
Gentleman's time has